Did you know that in this corner of Great Britain, sheep outnumber humans by 3 to 1, guarding valleys where time seems to have stood still for centuries? That beneath the shade of an ancient yew tree, already old when the Great Pyramids of Egypt were being built, you can breathe in the legacy of one of Europe's oldest and most resilient languages? And that the summit of its most legendary peak, forged by volcanic fire, was once the bed of a tropical ocean 500 million years ago, holding marine fossils more than 1,000 meters above sea level. Wales is not just a land of castles and myths. It is the roar of the Atlantic carving untamed cliffs, the heart of the Industrial Revolution sculpted into slate mountains, and one of the most mystical and wild landscapes on the planet. Get ready, because today you will discover 50 incredible facts about Wales that will forever change the way you see this untamed bastion of nature. 50. The linguistic labyrinth of Llanfairpwll. The village of Llanfairpwll, Gwyngil Gogarich Wyrndrub Llantysilio Gogogach, situated on the Isle of Anglesey, holds the record for the longest place name in the United Kingdom. Spanning 58 letters, the name is not merely a random collection of characters, but a descriptive geographical summary. In the English language, it translates to St. Mary's Church in the hollow of the White Hazel, near to the rapid whirlpool of Llantysilio of the Red Cave. This extraordinary title was allegedly elongated in the 19th century as a clever publicity stunt to attract Victorian tourists to the local railway station. Today, it remains a primary destination for travelers who wish to test their pronunciation and witness the literal meeting point of local history and creative marketing. 49. The volcanic origins of Yr Wydfa. Standing at a height of 1,085 meters, Yr Wydfa, historically known as Snowdon, is the highest peak in Wales and England. Although it currently presides over a temperate climate, the mountain is a remnant of intense volcanic activity that occurred during the Ordovician period. Geologists have discovered fossilized seashells near its summit, proving that the rock forming this towering peak was once located at the bottom of a prehistoric ocean. The mountain was later sculpted by massive glaciers during the last ice age, which created the dramatic CWMs and sharp ridges, known as arêtes, that define its iconic silhouette today. It serves as a formidable monument to the planet's shifting tectonic and glacial history. 48. The Sentinel of Offa's Dyke. Stretching for approximately 177 miles, Offa's Dyke is an ancient earthwork that roughly follows the modern border between Wales and England. Constructed in the 8th century by King Offa of Mercia, this massive ditch and rampart system was designed to delineate the boundary of his kingdom and deter Welsh incursions. Geographically, the dike traverses a remarkable variety of landscapes, from the floodplains of the River Wye to the high ridges of the Black Mountains. It is not a continuous wall, but a strategic series of barriers that utilize the natural topography to create a formidable frontier. Today, it serves as a popular national trail, offering hikers a unique perspective on the historical and physical divide of the island. 47. The Pembrokeshire Coastal Ribbon. The Pembrokeshire Coast National Park is unique within the United Kingdom, as the only national park designated primarily for its spectacular maritime landscape. Stretching across 629 square kilometers, the park encompasses rugged cliffs, sandy beaches, and hidden wooded estuaries. One of its most impressive geographical features is the Pembrokeshire Coast Path, which winds for 186 miles along the shoreline. Interestingly, the total ascent and descent of this path is approximately 35,000 feet, which is greater than the height of Mount Everest. This statistic highlights the surprisingly undulating nature of the Welsh coastline, where even a walk by the sea involves a significant amount of vertical challenge and reward for the dedicated explorer. 46. The limestone labyrinth of Oga Ffynnon Ddu. Deep beneath the Swansea Valley lies Oga Ffynnon Ddu, the deepest cave system in the United Kingdom and the second longest in Wales. Descending to a depth of 308 meters, this subterranean network spans over 50 kilometers of surveyed passages. The cave was formed within a thick band of carboniferous limestone, carved over millennia by the relentless action of underground streams. It is renowned for its diverse geological formations, including massive stalactites, delicate straws, and vast chambers that could comfortably house a cathedral. For geographers and speleologists, the system provides an invaluable window into the hydrological processes that have shaped the limestone uplands of South Wales since the end of the last glacial period. 45. The sunken kingdom of Cantref Gwaelod. Off the coast of Cardigan Bay lies a geographical mystery that bridges the gap between folklore and reality. Legend speaks of Cantref Gwaelod, a fertile kingdom that was supposedly swallowed by the sea when a drunken gatekeeper failed to close the dikes during a storm. While the story is mythical, there is genuine physical evidence of a submerged landscape in the form of prehistoric peat beds and ancient forest stumps. These remains are frequently revealed at low tide, particularly after severe winter gales. These petrified trees, some thousands of years old, serve as a stark reminder of the post-glacial sea level rises that transformed the Welsh coastline, turning once flourishing woodland into the depths of the Irish Sea. Before continuing, don't forget to subscribe and like to keep exploring the strange and incredible geography of our entire country. 44. The industrial scars of Blaenavon. The landscape surrounding the town of Blaenavon in southeast Wales is a stark testament to the Industrial Revolution's profound impact on local geography. Now a United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization World Heritage Site, the area was once a global epicenter for iron and coal production. The physical environment was radically altered by deep mining, quarrying, and the construction of massive slag heaps, which changed the very contour of the hills. Beneath the surface, hundreds of miles of tunnels crisscross the earth, reflecting a time when the region's mineral wealth powered the British Empire. This site illustrates how human economic activity can become a permanent geological feature, rewriting the story of the land in stone, iron, and coal. 43. The azure depths of the Blue Lagoon. In the village of Aberidi, Pembrokeshire, lies a striking geographical feature known as the Blue Lagoon. Despite its tropical-sounding name, this deep pool of brilliant turquoise water is actually a man-made indentation in the coast. It was originally a slate quarry that operated until the early 20th century, when a narrow channel was blasted to allow the sea to flood the site. The surrounding cliffs are composed of dark gray Ordovician slate, which provides a dramatic contrast to the vivid azure of the water. This site is a fascinating example of how industrial abandonment can create new, beautiful coastal features, which are now utilized for adventure sports such as coasteering and high diving competitions on a global scale. 42. The avian sanctuary of Scomer Island. Scomer Island, situated less than a mile off the coast of Pembrokeshire, is a geographical marvel of volcanic rock and wildlife diversity. The island is separated from the mainland by the Jack Sound, a stretch of water notorious for its treacherous currents and shipwrecks. Scomer is composed of ancient basaltic and rhyolitic lavas, which have weathered into a series of sheltered bays and exposed headlands. This rugged terrain provides the perfect habitat for one of the largest puffin colonies in the British Isles. Furthermore, the island is the primary breeding ground for the Manx shearwater, with half of the world's population returning here annually. It remains a vital, isolated ecological outpost in the heart of the Celtic Sea. 41. The ancient yew of Llangyrnyw. In the small village of Llangyrnyw in North Wales, the churchyard of St. Degan houses one of the oldest living things on the planet. The Llangyrnyw yew is an ancient tree that is estimated to be between 4,000 and 5,000 years old. Geographically and biologically, this means the tree was already a sapling during the Bronze Age, long before the arrival of the Romans or the construction of the Great Pyramids. The tree's massive girth is the result of multiple stems fusing together over millennia. It stands as a living link to the prehistoric environment of Wales, surviving through countless climatic shifts and human conflicts, and serving as a remarkable landmark in the lush, rural landscape of the Conwy Valley. 40. The roaring cascade of Pistell Rhaeadr. Deep within the Berwyn Mountains of Powys, the Afon Disgynfa River plunges over a sheer cliff to create Pistell Rhaeadr, the highest waterfall in Wales. At 73 meters in height, it is significantly taller than Niagara Falls. The waterfall is unique because the water has carved a natural arch through the rock halfway down the drop, creating a bridge-like structure that adds to its dramatic appearance. The surrounding geology consists of tough Silurian rocks that have resisted the erosive force of the water more effectively than the softer strata below. This hidden gem, nestled in a secluded valley, is often cited as one of the 7 wonders of Wales, representing the raw hydraulic power of the Welsh uplands. 39. The submerged forests of Borth. Along the coastline of Borth in Ceredigion, another fascinating geological phenomenon appears during periods of exceptionally low tides. The remains of a submerged forest, dating back to approximately 1500 years before the Common Era, are preserved in the peat. The stumps of pine, alder, and oak trees are often visible, looking like eerie sculptures rising from the sand. These trees were once part of a vast forest that stretched out into Cardigan Bay before rising sea levels and shifting coastal dynamics reclaimed the land. This This site provides critical data for geographers studying post-glacial land bridges and the long-term impact of climate change on the Welsh littoral zone, offering a haunting glimpse into a lost terrestrial world. 38. The Dark Sky Reserve of Bannau Brycheiniog. The Brecon Beacons National Park, recently renamed Bannau Brycheiniog to reflect its Welsh heritage, was the first place in Wales to be designated an international dark sky reserve. Geographically, the park's sparse population and mountainous topography create a natural bowl that is largely shielded from the light pollution of the surrounding industrial valleys and cities. Covering 520 square miles, the park offers some of the clearest views of the Milky Way and distant constellations in Europe. This designation is not just about aesthetics, it protects the nocturnal environment and the delicate ecosystems that rely on natural light cycles. It serves as a stark reminder of the vast, untouched wilderness that remains preserved in the heart of South Wales. 37. The tidal giants of the Severn Estuary. The Severn Estuary, which separates South Wales from southwest England, boasts the second highest tidal range in the entire world. In some areas, the difference between high and low tide can reach up to 14.5 meters. This geographical funnel effect is caused by the Atlantic Ocean's massive volume of water being forced into the narrowing channel between the two nations. This immense movement of water creates a unique phenomenon known as the Severn Bore, a tidal wave that travels upstream against the river's natural flow. The estuary is a site of international ecological importance, featuring vast mudflats and salt marshes that support hundreds of thousands of migratory birds during the winter months. 36. The glacial splendor of CWM Idwal. CWM Idwal, located in the Glyderau range of Snowdonia, is often considered the finest example of a glacial cirque in the British Isles. This dramatic bowl-shaped valley was carved by a glacier during the last ice age, leaving behind a deep lake and towering cliffs of volcanic rock. The site is so geologically significant that it was the first national nature reserve in Wales, and it served as a key research location for Charles Darwin, who used the area to study the effects of glaciation. The rugged slopes are home to rare Arctic alpine plants, such as the Snowdon lily, which have survived here since the end of the Pleistocene epoch, thriving in the cool, sheltered microclimate of the valley. 35. The Copper Kingdom of Paris Mountain. Paris Mountain on the Isle of Anglesey was once the site of the largest copper mine in the world. During the late 18th century, the mountain's vast mineral deposits were so extensive that they dominated the global market, earning the site the nickname the Copper Kingdom. Geographically, the mountain is a riot of color, with the exposed rock displaying vivid shades of red, orange, and purple due to the oxidation of various metallic ores. The landscape has been transformed by massive open-cast pits that look more like a Martian terrain than a British hill. While mining ceased long ago, the site remains a significant geological and historical landmark, illustrating the immense scale of industrial extraction on the Welsh Islands. 34. The slate landscapes of Northwest Wales. The slate industry of Northwest Wales was so geographically and culturally significant that it was recently granted United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization World Heritage status. The landscape is dominated by colossal quarries such as Penrhyn and Dinorwig, where entire mountains were literally carved away by generations of workers. At its peak, the region supplied high-quality roofing slate to every corner of the British Empire. The resulting environment is one of deep blue-gray scars, massive waste tips, and ingeniously engineered narrow-gauge railways. These industrial interventions have created a unique, dramatic topography that tells the story of how a single mineral can reshape the physical and social geography of an entire region over the course of 2 centuries. 33. The holy island of Bardsey. Bardsey Island, or Eunice Enley in Welsh, lies 2 miles off the tip of the Llyn Peninsula and is steeped in geographical and spiritual isolation. Known as the Island of 20,000 Saints, it was a major pilgrimage site in the medieval period, where 3 visits were said to equal 1 pilgrimage to Rome. Geologically, the island is a small piece of Precambrian rock, some of the oldest in Wales, which has resisted the erosion of the Irish Sea. It is a vital sanctuary for wildlife, including gray seals and choughs. The island is also home to one of the world's rarest apple trees, the Bardsey apple, which was discovered growing against the walls of the old abbey ruins in the late 20th century. 32. The Victorian elegance of Llandudno Pier. Llandudno Pier, located on the North Wales coast, is a marvel of Victorian engineering and a significant landmark in the region's seaside geography. At 700 meters in length, it is the longest pier in Wales and is constructed primarily from cast iron with a wooden deck. The pier extends into the Irish Sea from the sheltered bay between the two limestone headlands of the Great Orme and the Little Orme. Its unique V-shape was designed to provide better stability against the strong coastal currents and to allow steamboats to dock at various tides. Today it remains a focal point for tourism, offering sweeping views of the Snowdonia Mountains meeting the sea and preserving the architectural heritage of Britain's golden age of travel. 31. The natural harbor of Milford Haven. The Milford Haven waterway in Pembrokeshire is one of the deepest natural harbors in the world and the largest in the United Kingdom. This ria, or flooded river valley, was formed during the last ice age when rising sea levels inundated the deep valley of the River Cleddau. The waterway stretches for over 20 miles inland and is capable of accommodating the world's largest oil tankers and liquefied natural gas carriers. Its geographical importance cannot be overstated as it serves as a critical energy hub for the United Kingdom. Despite its industrial significance, the waterway is surrounded by the Pembrokeshire Coast National Park, creating a unique juxtaposition of heavy global industry and pristine, ecologically diverse maritime landscapes. 30. The hydraulic mastery of the Elan Valley. The Elan Valley Reservoir, located in the heart of Powys, represent a monumental feat of Victorian engineering that reshaped the local geography. Covering over 70 square miles, this chain of man-made lakes was created by damming the Elan and Clairwyn rivers to provide a clean water supply for the city of Birmingham. The area's rugged mountainous terrain and high annual rainfall made it an ideal location for such a vast hydraulic project. Today, the reservoirs are an integral part of the Welsh landscape, surrounded by sessile oak woodlands and sprawling moorlands. This artificial transformation has created a unique ecosystem that supports a diverse range of rare flora and fauna, while continuing to serve as a vital utility for millions. 29. The Copper Labyrinth of the Great Orme. The Great Orme, a massive limestone headland rising 200 meters above the town of Llandudno, is a geological anomaly in North Wales. Composed entirely of carboniferous limestone, this prominent feature was shaped by the erosive forces of the Irish Sea and ancient glacial movements. Beneath its grassy surface lies a labyrinth of prehistoric copper mines dating back to the Bronze Age, which are some of the largest of their kind in the world. The headland's unique microclimate and alkaline soil support rare species of wildlife and plants, such as the wild Kashmir goats and the Orme berry. Its sheer cliffs provide essential nesting sites for various seabirds, making it a critical coastal ecological and geological site. 28. The Serpentine Silhouette of Worm's Head. Worm's Head is a dramatic tidal island located at the western tip of the Gower Peninsula, the first area in the United Kingdom to be designated an area of outstanding natural beauty. This jagged outcrop of carboniferous limestone stretches for approximately 1 mile into the Bristol Channel and is only accessible for 2 hours on either side of low tide. The name is derived from the Old Norse word for dragon or serpent, which reflects its serpentine shape when viewed from the mainland. Geographically, it is a perilous environment characterized by jagged rocks and powerful Atlantic swells. It remains a stark example of the relentless marine erosion that defines the coastal geography of Southwest Wales. 27. The Glacial Sculpture of the South Wales Valleys. The South Wales Valleys, a series of narrow, steep-sided glaciated valleys, are a defining geographical feature of the southern part of the country. Carved during the last ice age, these valleys, such as the Rhondda, Taff, and Cynon, were later transformed by the intensive extraction of high-quality steam coal. The resulting settlement pattern is unique, with long terraces of stone-built houses clinging to the steep hillsides, mirroring the linear paths of the rivers and railways below. Although the heavy industry has largely departed, the physical landscape remains dominated by the legacy of mining, including repurposed colliery sites and restored green hillsides that highlight the transition from an industrial heartland back to a more natural, albeit altered state. 26. The ecclesiastical isolation of St. David's. St. David's, situated on a peninsula in Pembrokeshire, holds the distinction of being the smallest city in the United Kingdom by both population and urban area. Its geographical location was strategically chosen in the 6th century for its seclusion and proximity to the sea, facilitating travel to other Celtic regions while remaining hidden from coastal raiders. The city is built upon ancient volcanic rock, and the magnificent cathedral is uniquely nestled in a hollow to further conceal feel it from the horizon. This remote western outpost is surrounded by some of the most spectacular coastal scenery in Europe, including the dramatic cliffs of St. Bride's Bay, making it a place where ecclesiastical history and rugged maritime geography are inextricably linked. 25. The turbulent frontier of the Welsh Marches. The Welsh Marches refer to the historically turbulent borderland between Wales and England, a region defined by its complex geographical and political history. This frontier zone is characterized by a mix of rolling hills, fertile river valleys, and a dense concentration of medieval fortifications and motte and bailey castles. Geographically, the Marches follow the path of the River Wye and the River Severn, which have long served as natural boundaries and corridors for trade and conflict. The landscape is a patchwork of ancient woodlands and pastoral farmland, reflecting the centuries of shifting control and cultural exchange between the two nations. It remains a distinct geographical entity where the physical terrain dictates the historical narrative of territorial power and defense. 24. The Cetacean Sanctuary of Cardigan Bay. Cardigan Bay is the largest bay in Wales, forming a vast, sweeping arc along the nation's western coastline from the Llyn Peninsula to St. David's Head. Geographically, the bay is relatively shallow and is characterized by its significant tidal ranges and diverse marine ecosystems. It is internationally renowned for hosting one of only 2 semi-resident populations of bottlenose dolphins in the United Kingdom. The bay's coastline features a mix of high cliffs, sandy dunes, and extensive salt marshes, providing a variety of habitats for migratory birds and gray seals. The underwater topography includes the remains of sunken sarnau or glacial moraines, which extend several miles out to sea and contribute to the local maritime folklore and history. 23. The treacherous currents of the Menai Strait. The Menai Strait is a narrow stretch of tidal water that separates the Isle of Anglesey from the mainland of North Wales. Approximately 16 miles long, the strait was formed through the erosive action of glaciers and the eventual flooding of the valley by rising sea levels. It is famous for its dangerous tidal currents and whirlpools, particularly in the central section known as the Swellies, where the water can reach speeds of over 8 knots. This geographical feature necessitated the construction of 2 iconic bridges, the Menai Suspension Bridge and the Britannia Bridge. These structures are essential for connectivity, yet the strait remains a formidable natural barrier that dictates the unique ecological and navigational conditions of the region. 22. The limestone majesty of the Wye Valley. The Wye Valley, an area of outstanding natural beauty, follows the border between Wales and England and is home to the stunning ruins of Tintern Abbey. Geographically, the valley is a deep limestone gorge carved by the River Wye over millions of years, creating a landscape of dramatic cliffs and ancient hanging woodlands. The river itself is one of the longest in the United Kingdom and is renowned for its high biodiversity and scenic meandering path. This region was the birthplace of the British tourism industry in the 18th century, as visitors flocked to witness the sublime beauty of the vertical limestone crags and the serene river setting. It remains a vital geographical corridor for both wildlife and human recreation today. 21. The watershed wilderness of the Cambrian Mountains. The Cambrian Mountains are often referred to as the Desert of Wales due to their extreme isolation and low human population density. This vast upland region in central Wales serves as the watershed for some of Britain's most important rivers, including the Severn and the Wye. Geographically, the terrain consists of high, rolling plateaus of Ordovician and Silurian gritstone and shale, covered by extensive blanket bogs and moorlands. The lack of major roads and settlements has preserved a wilderness quality that is rare in southern Britain. The region provides a critical habitat for the red kite, a bird of prey that was once nearly extinct in the United Kingdom, but has successfully rebounded in these quiet, windswept hills. 20. The volcanic bastion of Ramsay Island. Ramsay Island, located just off the coast of St. David's in Pembrokeshire, is a Royal Society for the Protection of Birds reserve with a fascinating geological profile. The island is composed of a complex mix of volcanic and sedimentary rocks, including some of the oldest Cambrian formations in Wales. Its western side features towering sea cliffs that rise up to 120 meters, providing vital nesting sites for thousands of razorbills and guillemots. The island is also home to one of the largest colonies of Atlantic gray seals in the United Kingdom, which give birth to their pups in the secluded sea caves and on the pebbled beaches. It remains an essential, rugged sanctuary for maritime biodiversity. 19. The intertidal wealth of the Dee Estuary. The Dee Estuary forms a natural geographical boundary between North Wales and northwest England, opening into the Irish Sea. This vast area of intertidal sand and mudflats is one of the most important wetlands in Europe for overwintering and migratory wildfowl and waders. Geographically, the estuary is characterized by its shifting channels and extensive salt marshes, which are subject to powerful tidal influences. Historically, the silting of the estuary led to the decline of Chester as a major port and the rise of newer coastal settlements. Today, it is a site of international ecological significance, protected by various conservation designations to ensure the survival of its diverse bird populations and the health of its complex maritime environment. 18. The glacial trough of Llyn Tegud. Llyn Tegud, known in English as Bala Lake, is the largest natural body of water in Wales, situated within the stunning landscape of Snowdonia National Park. Geographically, the lake is approximately 4 miles long and occupies a deep glacial trough formed along the Bala Fault, a major geological fracture. The lake is famous for its unique inhabitant, the Gwyniad, a species of freshwater whitefish that has been trapped here since the end of the last ice age. The surrounding mountains and the deep, cold waters of the lake create a distinct microclimate, and the area is a popular center for water sports and outdoor recreation. It serves as a focal point for the hydrological and geological history of the region. 17. The legendary chair of Cader Idris. Cader Idris, standing at 893 meters, is one of the most iconic mountains in mid-Wales and the southern anchor of Snowdonia. Geographically, the mountain is a massive ridge of volcanic and sedimentary rock, with its name translating to the Chair of Idris, a reference to a legendary giant. The most striking feature of the mountain is Llyn Cow, a magnificent glacial lake nestled within a perfectly formed volcanic-looking crater, which is actually a classic glacial cirque. The rugged terrain and diverse plant life, including rare ferns and mosses, make it a site of special scientific interest. It represents the raw, majestic beauty of the Welsh uplands and the powerful legacy of past glacial activity. 16. The stratified cliffs of the Glamorgan Coast. The Glamorgan Heritage Coast stretches for 14 miles along the northern shore of the Bristol Channel, offering a landscape of immense geological interest. This coastline is defined by its spectacular cliffs of Lias limestone, which are characterized by their distinct horizontal layering, resembling a giant stack of pancakes. These rocks were formed during the Jurassic period and are rich in fossils, including ammonites and marine reptiles. Geographically, the area is prone to rapid coastal erosion, resulting in the formation of dramatic sea caves, rock pools, and expansive wave-cut platforms. This stretch of coast provides a unique geological record of the prehistoric seas that once covered the region, making it a primary destination for researchers and nature enthusiasts alike. 15. The Quartzite Sentinel of Holyhead Mountain. Holyhead Mountain, located on Holy Island just off the coast of Anglesey, is the highest point on the island and a significant geological landmark. The mountain is composed primarily of Precambrian quartzite, an incredibly hard rock that has resisted millions of years of erosion. This tough terrain provides a dramatic backdrop to the port of Holyhead and is home to various ancient historical sites, including Iron Age hill forts and Roman ruins. The cliffs of South Stack, located on the mountain's western edge, are renowned for their spectacular sea views and large colonies of nesting seabirds. Geographically, it serves as a sentinel overlooking the Irish Sea, marking the gateway between the island of Great Britain and the island of Ireland. 14. The meandering artery of the Tywei Valley. The Tywei Valley in Carmarthenshire is a broad and fertile river valley that contains the longest river flowing entirely within the borders of Wales. Geographically, the valley is characterized by its winding meanders, lush floodplains, and the dramatic backdrop of the Black Mountain Range. The river is famous for its high-quality salmon and sowan, or sea trout, fishing. Historically and geographically, the valley was a strategic corridor, which is evident from the numerous castles perched on its overlooking hills, such as Dnefer and Dreiselwyn. The fertile alluvial soils have supported centuries of dairy farming, creating a pastoral landscape that is quintessentially Welsh. It remains a vital geographical and economic artery in the heart of the southern Welsh countryside. 13. The Mediterranean illusion of Portmeirion. Portmeirion is a unique architectural and geographical marvel located on a private peninsula in Penrhyn-Dewdrop, North Wales. Designed and built by Sir Clough Williams-Ellis between 1925 and 1975, this Italianate village was constructed to prove that the development of a naturally beautiful site could be done without spoiling it. The village is nestled into a wooded cliffside overlooking the vast sandy estuary of the River Dwyreid. The site benefits from a mild microclimate, allowing for the growth of exotic plants and palm trees that are rarely seen elsewhere in the United Kingdom. This carefully curated environment blends Mediterranean architecture with the rugged Welsh landscape, creating a surreal and beautiful geographical destination that attracts visitors from around the globe. 12. The hydraulic power of the Bardsey Sound. The Bardsey Sound is the narrow and treacherous body of water that separates Bardsey Island from the mainland of the Llyn Peninsula. Geographically, this sound is notorious for its exceptionally strong tidal races and unpredictable sea conditions, which are caused by the volume of the Irish Sea being forced through a relatively tight passage. These currents can reach speeds of up to 7 knots, making it a significant challenge for even the most experienced mariners. The seabed here is a complex arrangement of rocky reefs and deep trenches, providing a rich habitat for various marine species, including lobster and crab. This natural barrier has played a crucial role in maintaining the isolation and spiritual character of the Holy Island. 11. The red sandstone ridges of the Black Mountains. The Black Mountains form the easternmost part of the Brecon Beacons National Park and represent a distinct geographical block of high ground straddling the border. Not to be confused with the singular Black Mountain further west, this range consists of a series of long parallel ridges separated by deep glaciated valleys. The underlying geology is primarily old red sandstone, which gives the soil and the exposed rock faces a subtle reddish hue. The highest point, Waun Fach, offers expansive views over the Wye Valley and the English Midlands. The landscape is dominated by open moorland and ancient hill forts, reflecting a long history of human occupation in a high-altitude environment that is both beautiful and challenging for modern travelers. Don't forget to subscribe and like to keep learning amazing facts about each province of our beautiful country. 10. The monastic solitude of Caldey Island. Situated off the southern coast of Pembrokeshire, Caldey Island is a unique geographical and spiritual enclave separated from the mainland by a narrow sound. This small island is composed of a diverse mix of old red sandstone and carboniferous limestone, providing a varied landscape for its small resident community of Cistercian monks. The monks have inhabited the island for centuries, maintaining a self-sufficient lifestyle through the production of high-quality chocolates, perfumes, and shortbread. Geographically, the island is characterized by its rugged cliffs and sheltered sandy beaches, which provide a vital habitat for various seabirds and Atlantic gray seals. It remains an enduring symbol of peace and historical continuity within the turbulent waters of the Bristol Channel. 9. The glacial boulder of the Maen Lea. Maen Lea is a massive standing stone located in the heart of the Brecon Beacons National Park, or Banau Brycheiniog. Standing at nearly 4 meters in height, this monolith of old red sandstone is widely considered to be a glacial erratic, deposited by retreating ice sheets during the last glacial maximum. Geographically, its position on a high moorland ridge makes it a prominent landmark for travelers navigating the ancient trackways of the region. Local folklore suggests the stone descends to the nearby River Ned to drink whenever it hears a cock crow, yet its true significance remains rooted in its prehistoric origins. It stands as a testament to the immense power of moving ice in shaping the Welsh uplands. 8. The Carboniferous Cliffs of South Pembrokeshire. The coastline of South Pembrokeshire features some of the most dramatic Carboniferous limestone formations in the British Isles, most notably the Stack Rocks and the Green Bridge of Wales. These features were created through millions of years of relentless marine erosion, where the powerful waves of the Atlantic have carved deep inlets, sea caves, and a massive natural arch. Geographically, the vertical cliffs provide essential nesting sites for thousands of guillemots and razorbills, which congregate here during the spring and summer months. The white limestone contrasts sharply with the deep blue of the sea, creating a visually striking landscape that serves as a critical study area for geomorphologists interested in the long-term processes of coastal retreat and landform development. 7. The industrial splendor of the Pont-Silt Aqueduct. The Pont-Silt Aqueduct is a masterpiece of early industrial engineering that spans the valley of the River Dee in northeast Wales. Completed in 1805 by Thomas Telford, it is the longest and highest aqueduct in the United Kingdom, carrying the Llangollen Canal 38 meters above the river. Geographically, it is a significant feature that connects the Highland water sources with the lowlands, utilizing a massive cast iron trough supported by 18 masonry arches. Now a United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization World Heritage Site, it demonstrates how human ingenuity can overcome the challenges of rugged topography to create a functional and aesthetically pleasing structure. It remains a focal point for modern canal tourism and historical research. 6. The tectonic rift of the Bala Fault. The Bala Fault is a major geological fracture that runs across the landscape of Wales from the southwest to the northeast. This ancient fault line has played a critical role in determining the nation's topography, guiding the path of numerous rivers and the formation of deep glacial valleys. The fault is most evident in the linear shape of Llyn Tegid and the surrounding mountain ranges of Snowdonia. While the fault is currently inactive in terms of major seismic events, it remains an important feature for geologists studying the tectonic history of the British Isles. The rift has created a corridor of dramatic scenery and diverse soil types, influencing the local ecology and the historical development of settlements along its path. 5. The Quaternary Dunes of Merthyr Mawr. Merthyr Mawr Warren, located on the coast of Bridgend, is home to the highest sand dunes in Wales and some of the highest in Western Europe. This expansive system of quaternary sand dunes covers over 300 hectares and is a site of international ecological and archaeological importance. The dunes have been shaped by the prevailing winds of the Bristol Channel, constantly shifting and revealing hidden treasures, including a buried medieval village and prehistoric flint tools. The area's unique limestone-rich sands support a wide variety of rare plants and insects, making it a critical conservation zone. The dramatic desert-like landscape has even served as a filming location for cinema classics, highlighting the surprising geographical diversity found within Wales. 4. The Ancient Forest of the Wentwood. Wentwood is the largest ancient woodland in Wales. Situated on a high limestone ridge in Monmouthshire geographically, it is a significant remnant of the vast hunting forests that once covered much of the Welsh marches. The woodland is a biodiversity hotspot, consisting primarily of sessile oak and beech trees that have stood for centuries. The high elevation and varied topography of the ridge provide a range of habitats for rare species, including nightjars and dormice. Historically, the forest served as a vital source of timber and charcoal, and it remains a key component of the region's ecological network. Today, it is managed for both conservation and recreation, offering a glimpse into the primeval landscape that dominated the pre-industrial Welsh interior. 3. The serpentine meanders of the River Teifi. The River Teifi flows through the heart of West Wales, carving a serpentine path through deep gorges and fertile floodplains before entering the Irish Sea. Geographically, the river is unique for its dramatic waterfalls at Chenarth, where the water plunges over ancient sedimentary rocks. The Teifi is one of the few places in Britain where the traditional use of coracles, small skin-covered boats, is still practiced for salmon fishing, reflecting a deep connection between the people and the river's geography. The river valley serves as an essential ecological corridor, supporting diverse wildlife, including otters and rare aquatic plants. Its varying speeds and depths make it a fascinating subject for those studying fluvial geomorphology and the historical management of freshwater resources. 2. The volcanic peaks of the Glyderau. The Glyderau Range in Snowdonia offers some of the most rugged and otherworldly mountain scenery in the United Kingdom. Geographically, these peaks are composed of ancient volcanic rhyolite, which has been severely weathered by intense frost shattering since the last ice age. This process has created a landscape of jagged rock towers and vast boulder fields. Most famously at the summit of Glyder Fang with its iconic cantilever stone, the range also features Castel y Gwyn, a natural rock formation that resembles a medieval fortress. These high-altitude environments support rare Arctic alpine vegetation and provide a challenging terrain for climbers. The Glyderau remain a powerful testament to the violent volcanic and glacial processes that forge the spine of the North Welsh Mountains. 1. The subterranean power of Dinorwig. Hidden deep within the Elidir Mountain in Snowdonia is the Dinorwig Power Station, often referred to as the Electric Mountain. This remarkable geographical and industrial feat is a pumped storage hydroelectric scheme constructed within a colossal slate quarry. Geographically, the project utilized the existing elevation difference between two lakes, Lynn Paris and Marchland Moor, to generate massive amounts of electricity during periods of peak demand. The power station is housed within 16 kilometers of tunnels and cavernous halls carved directly into the mountain's heart. It represents the ultimate intersection of Wales's natural mountain topography and modern technological innovation, providing a critical service to the national grid while remaining largely invisible from the surface of the magnificent protected landscape of the surrounding national park. After discovering these unpublished geographical secrets about Gales, tell us, which one did you like the most, or which one surprised you the most? Write in the comments and let's see how many of us chose the same fact. If you think we missed something or want to add something, we'd love to know. Your comments help us improve each video. And speaking of videos, there's one more video on screen so you can continue exploring the geography of our beautiful country. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe and like so we can keep learning together. See you in the next video.